As our society has gotten more progressive, it has become more and more difficult to be seen as politically correct. It's easier to say the wrong thing at the wrong time or in any way that could offend somebody. It is best to try and always be inoffensive, but there are times where it is very difficult to know if you're being politically incorrect or not. This can be seen the most in using the wrong pronouns when meeting someone or when addressing someone in general, especially since now this has become more complicated as people have the right to identify however they want. Though it may be awkward to ask someone's pronouns, especially in a first meeting, it's something a lot of people will respect you for asking. Though if you are uncomfortable asking or forget to frequently ask, if someone corrects their pronouns when you use it in addressing them, it is important to quickly fix how you address them and respect the pronouns they choose to go by. First off, why is using proper pronouns so important? Well, for members of the trans, non-binary, and other members of society that conform to different pronouns, it is very dear to them to be called by their preferred pronouns, especially if this is different from their viewed natural pronouns. And calling them by incorrect pronouns can cause levels of distress and stress them out in general and show that you overall don't have a respect for how they identify. This can be seen especially in people who identify as transgender. For example, if someone was born genetically male but transitions to female and may not be fully completed their transition or just starting, a lot of people may still slip up and refer to them using he or him pronouns when they prefer to go by she or her. This can be an easy fix, just by simply asking if you're not sure or if you're corrected, backtracking in your sentence and using the correct pronouns. This may not seem like a big deal to some people, but it can greatly affect the other person as they are currently changing into another gender that they were not naturally born as but completely feel like they conform to. If you ever put in the situation where you feel like you may offend someone with what pronouns you are thinking to use, it's just best to ask, hey, what pronouns are you the most comfortable with? And you may think that seems so awkward to ask. Well, in society now, it has become a lot more acceptable to ask this question, and most of the time, you'll be respected for asking it. Personally, almost every professor I have had in college has asked at some point what pronouns every student feels the most comfortable with. This is something I fully appreciate and have great respect for. As personally, I go by she or her or they, them pronouns, and that's just what I feel the most comfortable with. But I have had students in my class that simply just go by they, them pronouns. Even though they may look more feminine or more masculine, they just don't feel comfortable being called either, and that's completely okay now. And it's something that's good for the professor to know to make sure that they're referring to them as the right pronouns in the classroom setting or even when it comes to grading their work. The simple question in the classroom makes everyone feel comfortable and accepted by their professors and classmates, as there's a very little chance they'll be referred to by their incorrect pronouns as it was declared to everybody, and causes an overall sense of community and understanding, even in a little way. On the other side, if you feel uncomfortable asking someone their pronouns, it's important that if you're corrected, to simply make it a one-time mistake and keep it in your mind that they go by whatever they choose to go by. For example, if I was meeting someone and addressed them as he or him, and they told me they were more comfortable with they and them, it's easy to correct as a simple, oh, thank you so much for telling me, I won't do that again. And backtrack your sentence, and this time use the correct pronouns. So if I was telling a story about my friend and said, he really likes to go shopping, and they looked at me and said, oh, I'm not comfortable with he and him pronouns, I'm actually more comfortable with they and them pronouns, I'd say, oh, thank you so much for telling me. They really like to go shopping. And it's as simple as that, because it makes them feel a lot comfortable, and you're showing that you respect what they go by and what they feel comfortable with. This, once again, shows a sign for respect for the person you're addressing, and you'll make them feel so much more comfortable with who they are, and you're showing that you accept them and that it's okay to be who they are. And for a lot of people, feeling like they're accepted and that it's okay with who they are and how they feel on the inside and how they choose to present themselves is really hard, because a lot of people still don't accept people that can be viewed as different, even though something as simple as a pronoun, something that a lot of us take for granted, is such a big deal to a lot of people, especially those who don't conform to society, or people think don't conform to society. And also, this will form such a deeper connection with the individual that you're referring to, and shows that you respect who they are and who they choose to be. Since our society has become so much more progressive, it's obvious that addressing one by their proper pronouns is extremely important, and it's a key sign to your respect for somebody. It's as much as calling someone Mr. and Mrs. Using their correct pronouns shows that you have respect for who they are and that you understand who they are. Even if you're too afraid to ask, it's vital that if you are corrected, to respect someone's pronouns and quickly change how you address them to the way they identify. As now more than ever, it is accepted for people to identify however they want and whatever they feel comfortable with, and it is respected for you to show respect to these people. Thank you.